Hi, I'm Patrick Tonelli, Lifestyle Art. Welcome to my studio again, and welcome to Busting Myths and a Way to Make Art. So, busting myths over the next couple of weeks, a few videos, just things for you to think about. Because a lot about being an artist is down to mindset. So it's like a case of really addressing this mindset, and then you'll be fully prepared to start your whole journey of being an artist. So you see my studio here, or some of it. There's a blank canvas in the back. That's a commission I've just got. I've got another painting on the wall which I've just finished, which is a commission. I've already had 2 exhibitions this year. I had 4 exhibitions last year, 4 the year before that. But it hasn't always been the case. Like, sometimes you listen to me and you'll probably think, oh, well, it's fine for him. He's got a great studio. He's got all the time in the world. And stuff like that. That's the conclusions we draw when we see what people do. But let me just tell you a little story about how it all began. So I'm 59, coming on 60 now. In fact, I'm 60 this year, 60 years young. I feel like my life's just beginning, to be honest. And in 2013, after working for many years in a company, in fact 26 years, in 2013 on Christmas Day I had a heart attack. That was following sort of many years of really trying to fulfill my creative nature, trying to sort of fit into a box that wasn't made for me. So, but thinking it was me that was at fault, not the box I was trying to be in. So my life, fortunately for me, decided to say, hey, enough already, all right, already, it's time to move on. So this heart attack was an opportunity for change. But I didn't know what it was. While I was recovering, I had no idea. I've always been creative, like I've made music and written stuff, but always in between doing life. So while I was recovering, I started to draw. I started to use coloured pens. Then I started to draw with graphite. Then I started to really started to do watercolours. I looked on the fabulous internet, on the YouTube, which of course we can all do. And I started trying to do some watercolours. Very difficult, very different from what I do now. But I found myself drawn more and more into doing it. Then I started to work with oils in October 2014, and I felt like I had arrived using this oil paint. My wife bought them for my birthday, and I suddenly just was inspired, and then and it's all grown from there, really. But the main thing that really helped me was that I did a painting, and then my wife looked at it, who's usually of a wonderfully critical nature, and she said, wow, that's really good, which is not something I always get from my wife. But to be fair, you know, when she said it and she said it's really good, I just felt like encouraged to do more. So I took the bull by the horns, really. I didn't think, oh, I'll go to college and get a degree and go that way. I decided to just paint the way I've been painting already. And that's the way it grew, really. The way that I developed my practice is through doing it. And I kind of got to this point now where I realise the way for me to really move forward is with you wonderful people, is show you that you too can paint. Now in these 6 series, in the next 6 videos over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I want to look at some of these myths that still hover around, or maybe stop us from starting to make art, whether we're going to make it our livelihood, or whether it is something that we've always wanted to do, or it's something that we've done when we're younger and we just can't. So any of these sound familiar, you know, oh, well, I would do, but I haven't got the space to do it. I've got kids, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's no space to do it. I can't do it. And then I just haven't got enough time, you know, because I've got to work, I've got a mortgage, I've got a car, and time's precious, and I haven't got time to do it. You know, I do all these other things, I can't do it. Or, but I still really want to do it, that's the thing, but it's not possible, is it? I can't do it. And, oh, a popular one is, I can't draw. Wonder where that came from. Maybe think about it. Write down a few thoughts. Where did you get this idea that you can't draw? It's a bit like saying you can't breathe. Some people have a real problem breathing, but most of us, fortunately, we breathe, don't we? And that's creative in itself. So, you know, I can't draw. Where's that come from? Think about it. Put it into your realm of thought. The next thing is, I'm not good enough. So, you know, here's me standing there as bold as brass, all these paintings behind me. You can probably see them a bit. You maybe have had a look at my website thinking, who is this jerk? Anyway, I've signed up and I just want to have a look. I can't do that. It's all right for him. He's got loads of time. You know, he's got the space, blah, blah, blah. So, and also says, I'm just not, you know, I couldn't do that. Because that's the way we look at it, isn't it? I mean, if you go into like the National Gallery and you see a fantastic painting on the wall, you sort of go, I couldn't possibly do that. You don't look at some of those paintings that are in there. Of course, they're really, really inspiring. Some of those paintings have taken years to complete. Years and years and years to complete. But we don't know that, do we, when we see it? We just like evaluate our abilities based on somebody else's. Sound familiar? And the, you know, oh, well, I do painting, but, you know, I'm a bit tight on the cash. I know it's a bit tight on the cash, and it costs loads. The paint, look, I mean, it's 20 quid for a tube of this, 20. You need all the colours, don't you? You need all the brushes, and you've got to have an easel. Now, look at easel, it's hundreds of quid. Oh, I can't do it. Yes? No? What do you think? And then, you know, finally, why do it anyway? So why do it anyway? These aspects, these drivers, these obstacles, these challenges, over the next few videos, I want to like go into them more deeply, but I'll start on this one for an example. Oh, I haven't got the space. Well, I haven't always been in this. I've been in the studio now for a couple of years, and I am really fortunate and I really like it. It's got loads of benefits from being here, but for like a year and a half, I just had a little bit of space in the house that I live in, a little bit, which I made the space in my house. And I made it, and we can make space where we are if we really want to do something. I mean, I started off with my watercolours and stuff. I was doing all that stuff on a small easel that cost next to nothing. I mean, talking a few quid and a few bits of paper. What I want to be like looking at is working with oils later on, but what we'll be doing over the next, just look at working in acrylics. So you just need a couple of colours, a couple of brushes, and something to paint on. You can get canvases really, really for very little money, even from Smith's, from the Works, from whatever it is. So I'm going to show you, while I'm talking about these obstacles, actually it doesn't have to cost any money at all. It's all down, do I really want to do it? Do I really, really want to do it? So the why do it anyway, you know, it's so many benefits health-wise and through the development of the way that you look at your life. So I don't have space Also with an easel, it's good to work so you're working at eye level so that you can build up a really good relationship with your work, sort of with the easel, away from the easel. All the time that you spend with the painting and you don't spend with the painting is just as equally important. They become part of the painting. It becomes part of your learning. It becomes part of the information that you need to continue, you know, and things like while you're working on the painting with your smartphone, which I hope you've got because they're great helpful tools in being an artist, is bang, you take a picture, boom, you take a picture. Anyway, you can just look at it, look at it, look at it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to work it out. You don't have to take notes. It just all goes into your life, into your life. And that's what it's like really about. It's about your life, having a dialogue with something and creating a new look, a new version of what it is you're looking at, what it is that you are painting. So we'll be working, you know, later on in the other courses, in the main courses that I run, we'll be working with objects, with places, maybe places that you know, and I'll guide you through how to make this relationship. So number one to take away from this first video is space. Is it true I haven't got space? Is it really, really true? I don't think it is. Have a look, find some space, think about it, maybe just sort of set up a plan about how you can create that space. And so again, I'll just reiterate through this series, next time we'll be looking at I just haven't got the time in more detail. And then after that, I can't draw. After that, I'm not good enough. And then the materials cost so much. And then why do it anyway? We'll go through each of these and I'll give you practical things that you can do so that by the end of this few weeks, you'll be all set up to start to paint. And thank you so much for putting up with my, for being here, putting up with me. See you next time.